Hey guys, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to How to Beat Prince in Civilization 6, or rather, How to Beat Your First Game of Civilization 6. Now, we are pretty close to winning here. We just have to take out Kyoto, and then we've won. So if we go up here and check our world rankings, if we look here, yep, the only person left is Japan. Oh, that's a religious victory. The domination victory, we just have to kill Japan. So, we can probably do this with just very few units. We'll start moving our units along here. Get these horsemen up. We don't really need to rest or repair our units. Not particularly important. Would you move there? Go there. Aethelfried. Keep moving along here. We want both our great generals. Now, in terms of Frankfurt, if we have a look around here, the watermill, just keep doing that. Send envoys. Sure, we may as well fill out Valletta just for the extra bonuses, just for why not. Otherwise, we're going to be mostly just kind of randomly clicking to get this over with and finish with, so we can talk about some of the more interesting points of the game. What do you run over there? Get over there, and if you you're going to be leveling up here soon, so you don't want to get a mine over there. Let's see. Isfahan, most of these decisions are inconsequential. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop, skip turn on. Well, should I do that? Yeah, I think I'll just put these units to sleep. I think I've already won, so I'm just going to put my units to sleep. You know, they've lived a good, long, healthy life as good boys, but these units, you know, they've outlived their usefulness. Rather than drag the series out any longer, I'll just finish it off real quick. So we have new stuff. We're going up here to this. We'll just, you know, we'll build something random. Finish off the industrial zone. And then we'll put these units to sleep also. Similarly, why don't you just build me ancient walls. Repair your granary. Unit needs orders. Okay. So, we're going for Kyoto. Excellent. Let's see here. So this is Boudica. I want Boudica to be in range of as many of these classical era units as possible. So there we'll capture quite a few of them. Then I can move my crossbowmen up, and I can move my horsemen up. And I think there's another crossbowman here. Yep, there we go. Now Aethelfried, I'm going to want to be in range of my industrial renaissance units. So there. Oh, I can't move them anymore. Anyway, so that's that. Next turn, just go to sleep, so you don't bother me anymore. Sleep, 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 sleep. If you don't know, the hotkey for sleep is Z. Z as in Zs, you know, seeing Zs when people are asleep. We should be able to pretty much blitz through Kyoto in a turn or two. Maybe, probably 3 turns. Ignore this request. I'm not interested in this particular thing. We're just gonna click through, get rid of some of these things. Alright, so if we grab this musketman, Aethelfried, why don't you move over there? Move you here. So my units have slowed down a little bit because I don't have the movement speed bonus from declaring a surprise war that Persia gets, which you know, was nice for moving units around. You go over here. So next turn, I will be striking the nefarious Japanese. Not really too interested in any of this. May as well just use up your last charge. Yeah, just go to the top of the list. That's all I care about. Sure. Next turn, you needs orders. Go sleep. Next turn. So managing a large empire like this isn't recommended, unless you get to my level. I'm kind of just skipping over some of the stuff because we're so close to winning. Yeah, managing an empire this big, like you can see how many actions it takes and how quickly I have to make decisions, and there's all this knowledge that I'm using in making these decisions. Honestly, you can win the game with these 4 cities, and it probably would have been better had I just raised everything, just to show that off rather than rather than doing that. If I were redoing this series, and I probably will redo this series in the future, I think I would have just pretty much raised every city, and I would have only settled like 4 and then just built units out of them. The nice thing is though, you know, practicing managing a large empire is fun. Like, it's a lot of fun to like, ooh, I'm building stuff over here and I'm moving builders, you know. But if you find it hard to manage this many cities, don't worry about it. We'll just build a workshop here because that's the next building in the line. You finish the builder, make me a... just make walls while I do something else. Yep. So sleep with Z, and you sleep as well. You can sleep, and here we go. Right, we're ready to move our army. Okay, so I think it's probably a good time to declare surprise war on Kyoto. Sure, declare war. Goodbye. Goodbye. Move up here and shoot. Oh, can't quite shoot this turn, but next turn we should be able to. Move over here. Horseman. You go there. Bring up the siege weapon, bring up the pikeman, bring up another horseman, bring up these 3 musketmen. End all their turns. Come in here, next turn. Yep. Just kind of keep moving him towards the front line. Probably should have just put him to sleep, but you know. What are you gonna do? Right, you go sleep. Next turn. Looks like we just took a hit from these 2. Encampment and the city center. Hit them, yeah. Probably be a good idea to retreat here. I think I'll pillage the farm for the healing. And then similarly here, I'll pillage the farm for the healing. That's something I haven't really been using, but it's useful to know that farms, if you pillage farms, you get healing out of it. You move here. Moving here because you can't shoot over this tile, but you can shoot over the other tile. You move over here, you'll be able to shoot. You move here, you can shoot. So Boudica, I want Boudica to be in range of my crossbowmen and my horsemen, because those are the classical era units, the horsemen at least. Boudica is very shortly actually going to be useless here. The second I get military science and upgrade my horsemen, she'll be useless, but you know, the game is going to be over before we get to that point. You go here. Why don't you hit the city actually, just for the sake of it. We'll shoot again with this guy. We'll move up with these musketmen. Get here. Alright, nice one. About to win the game. Ancient walls. Ancient walls. Yeah, watermill. Ancient walls. Sure. Okay, so why don't you just go sleep there? About to win the game. Next turn. Make sure you put all these guys to sleep. And there we go. Bada bing, bada boom, we're about to win. Okay, so we're going to attack with our bombard. Just because, oh, that was a crossbowman. Whoops. I meant to click on that bombard. Kaboom. City is dead. And just for the sake of it, we'll kill it with the pikeman. There we go. We won the game. That's how easy it is. You really only, if you want to win the game, all you really need are 3 melee units, 3 ranged units, 2 cavalry units, and 1 siege unit. That's all you need to win. Any more than that is just better, but you don't need that much. At least on Prince difficulty. On higher difficulty, you'll probably need more units. You'll probably need to rush more science, and you'll need to play different. But we're gonna do more of that sort of thing. But there you go. That's the win. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If we have a look here at our score, we can talk a little bit about the end of the game. So we didn't do a very good score. We came 19th. We got 490 score. But I think the score thing is a little bit, yeah, it's a bit whatever. If we look here at my culture per turn, like, no AI was ever really competitive with me. I mean, Cleopatra, yeah, sure, over here. But that's the thing, like, the strategy that I employ for winning Prince is a singularity strategy. It kind of burns nice and slowly, and then it goes, you know, gets more and more vertical as you get towards the end of the game. Like even if you look at my faith per turn, like I didn't even care about faith per turn. Didn't need faith to win the game. Gold balance, there were points where I had a pretty high gold balance, but generally speaking, I tried to spend my gold on appropriate things like my army and buildings and stuff like that. My science per turn was a similar sort of thing. Started off pretty, AIs were a little bit ahead of me, and then after a certain point, it's just, straight vertical. I'm running away with the game. In terms of buildings, again, AI are sort of on par, and then there just hits a point where I'm just away with it. If we look at, see, units killed, again, just loads and loads of units killed. And if you look at units lost, I only lost, like, in that whole game, what, 1 to 3 units? Really, it really is that simple. You can win a game on Prince losing no units if you really wanted to. And I don't think I built any wonders. I think I mostly stole wonders. Let's have a look at the Empire, at the map here. So if you recall, we settled this city, and then we kind of did our little loop of settling. We moved up here, we conquered London with Immortals and Archers. Then we made our way down here. I think we killed Palenque and Stockholm. Then we moved on Norway with similar sort of units. And then I think as we were coming up here, I think we had horsemen follow up this kind of push. Then as we made our way over here, a lot of this sort of end game, if I were to improve what I did here, what I would have done is I wouldn't have settled as many cities. These cities weren't relevant to me winning. A lot of these weren't. I probably would have kept these 3 cities and just rushed encampments in them. Although, what I did in them was fine. I would have probably deleted some of these cities. In particular, I would have deleted, like, Heidelberg. I would have deleted a lot of these cities. It probably would have been better if I had deleted a lot of these cities, just to save myself mental time in the winning. So don't be afraid if you don't see a city being particularly relevant to you getting the outcome of the game. Don't be afraid to delete them. But also don't be afraid to maybe find a use for them. Like, this city was generating, nearly 10% of my gold income, or of my gold profit, about 5% of my gold income, just by dropping a few builder charges around here and stuff like that. So, you can make these cities help your overarching goal. So don't be afraid to do that. Yeah. We're gonna be having a look here. I'm gonna probably wait a couple of days after this series. Maybe I'll do the Macedon scenario. Give that a few attempts to see if we can beat it. After that, we'll probably come back to this series and we'll do it on King, and we'll kind of go up each difficulty level to show off, how do I beat each individual difficulty level, and what is the strategy that I employ to win. Deity is a special beast in that you're almost always going to be playing very defensive on DD. The AI gets so many bonuses in the early game that the only real option that you have to catch up is to rush science and trade routes. But we'll talk about that bridge when we cross it. I've nothing really to say other than that about the game. I feel like it went pretty well. Like, we won, and we're not even in the industrial era. We're only 144 turns into a 500 cap turn game. Like, you can pretty much see we were completely ahead in science. We were completely ahead in culture. We didn't really even focus on religion, so that's not even relevant. We pretty much generated the most great people in the game. If we look through this list, yeah, you can see, like, here's all my characters. Like, completely dominated the AI. I think one of the things that if you're trying to learn how to beat the game, if you're trying to learn how to win, one of the things you need to give up is wonders. Wonders don't impact the outcome of the game all that much. There are a few wonders that do. For example, the Colosseum is really good. The Colosseum, like, if I were to think about the wonders that would impact the outcome of a game the most, I think the Colosseum is one. The pyramids is another, just because it's a nice one. That's roughly it. I mean, you could also make an argument for Alhambra, the Forbidden City, and Potala Palace, and Big Ben, because they give you extra card slots. but again, they're impactful, but they don't win you the game. Winning the game on Prince is really just about building some early units, purchase upgrading, and then attacking, and then consistently producing gold and science to keep your army up to date and ahead of the time. So yeah, I hope this is helpful in helping you guys win your first few games of Civilization 6. Please let me know if I left anything out, or if there's a particular thing you want me to go over with regards to the game. Like I did a domination victory this time, but it might be worth it for me to do something like try show off the culture victory or the science victory. The science victory is fairly simple to pull off, to be honest. But there are some risks to going science, particularly in a multiplayer game. You have to be careful. Uh, if there's also religious victory to do. I mean, I could do all of these. I think domination, though, if you're just trying to figure out like how do I win a game of Civ, domination victory is the one to go for, because it's relatively simple. All you're doing is basically throwing units at the enemy, and there's no real. There is a bit of thinking involved, but you don't need to go mental. You know, you don't need to do all this other sort of supporting stuff to actually win the game. Anyway, that's more or less it. I don't think I really have much more to add. Uh, I think I made decent use of city states. I used Kabul and Valletta early game. I got pretty lucky. Actually, I got really lucky, and I was playing Persia. This might be a bit harder to pull off if you're playing a civilization other than Persia. So just keep that in mind. For example, the Persian bonuses that helped me a lot here. The fall of Babylon was the extra movement after declaring a surprise war. The satrapies gave me a lot of gold. Another thing that really helped me is that the occupied cities didn't have negatives, which usually when you occupy a city it has negatives, but I thought, I'll just play Persia because it's a new civ and I wanted to play it and show it off. And domination victory seems like they're pretty good at it. The immortal, like pretty much every single one of these bonuses actually really helped me win a domination victory. The Paradisa was really nice because it gave me early game gold income to pay for my units and to upgrade them. It gave me extra culture to claim new tiles and keep my civics on par with my science. Generally speaking, if you're playing a balanced kind of domination game, you're going to want your science and your culture to be not the same, but you don't want to be too far behind in either. Like you don't want to be, if you're in the modern era and your culture is in the Renaissance, that's an issue. Your culture is falling behind and you'll need to build stuff to catch up. Because the cards typically are based on era. If you have modern era units, but you don't have the card that gives you the bonuses to making modern era units, you're going to be in trouble. We never even made it to industrial era, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. Usually I make it there. I could have made it there through civil engineering. But yeah, there you go. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember, if you want to see more videos of me playing this game or any other game that I do, you should subscribe to my channel to get notifications when new videos come out. If you want to directly support my channel, please leave a like on the video. It increases my rank on YouTube. It increases my visibility. More engagement is always better. Other than that, I want to remind you that you can comment on my video if you have any questions or comments or whatever you want to say. If you want to call me a dick, go right ahead. I have no problem with that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. I love you all very much, and bye-bye.